And coming up on Mountain News this morning, we go to Clay County where officials are investigating what they believe was a fight that turned deadly.
And we bring you the latest on an active Amber Alert out of East Tennessee, where police are investigating more than 700 tips from the public.
And we show you one Virginia fourth grader's mission to change the world, one crayon box at a time.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 5:33. I'm Will Puckett.
And I'm Lacey Roberts.
Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning on this Monday, March the 2nd. Lacey, we got a beautiful day yesterday, but it's all going to come crashing down.
But if the temperatures with it are going to be nice, so I'm not too upset.
Yeah, not too upset, but I still wish it was snow. Brandon, let's bring him in this morning. Brandon, we got a little taste of snow, but you know it's still not enough to make me happy.
Hey, now listen, I don't want to hear that. I brought you snow on Saturday and no complaints.
I am still complaining.
No.
It wasn't enough.
I brought you snow on Saturday. I promised you some snow on Saturday and you got it. So you're okay for a little bit.
He's done.
For like a day now.
That's
I'm
right.
back to it.
I know. But it's rained today. If it was a little colder, it might be frozen precipitation, but today it is not. Let's take a look and see what's going on across the region. Live pinpoint Doppler radar. Heavier bands back out toward the Cumberland Valley and I-75 Lake Cumberland corridor, so just kind of keep an eye on that this morning. Causing some limited visibility issues down toward London, especially with the heavier bands of rain coming through. So just drive slow. Take it easy this morning. Temperatures from 36 to 56. That's your range this morning across the region. Rain will drive them down into the mid-40s for the most part as we head toward the daytime hours, the early morning hours, put it that way. The winds out of the south, though, cranking right now. Could gust as high as 25 miles per hour at times today, but that's going to warm us back up into the mid-50s by this afternoon, even with the rain. 54, the official forecast high later this afternoon. I'll have the rest of that forecast on the way here in just a little bit. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Deputies with the Clay County Sheriff's Office are investigating a suspected fight that turned deadly Friday night. A man was found dead and his nephew is now facing a murder charge. The Clay County Sheriff's Office said upon arrival on the scene, 26-year-old David Taylor was covered in blood. Soon after, they found his uncle, 49-year-old Carl Roberts Jr., who was pronounced dead by the Clay County coroner. Patrick Robinson, the sheriff of Clay County, says this area normally does not receive a lot of calls, but that Taylor does have a previous record and Roberts will be missed.
Known him for a little while. He was a good man. He loved his children.
Taylor's being held in the Clay County Detention Center until his preliminary hearing.
Officials from the Laurel County Sheriff's Office say Jared Malacote, of East Bernadette was arrested Saturday night after deputies responded to a call about a fight off Jackson Road. When deputies arrived, they say they saw Malacote fighting another man. Officials say when Malacote saw deputies, he attempted to run away, but after a scuffle, deputies were able to arrest him. Deputies also reported that Malacote broke out all the windows of a van at the scene and was determined to be under the influence. He was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center.
Officials from the Laurel County Sheriff's Office also say a man was arrested this past weekend for trying to steal items from a local store. Officials say Tommy J. Stewart of Louisville was at Wacky Bin's store when he put several items in a single box to try to lower the price of them. Stewart was also wanted on an outstanding warrant. He was charged with theft by unlawful taking, shoplifting under $500, and taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center.
Kentucky is seeking $45,000 in fines from an Indiana man who is accused of using children to sell candy in Bowling Green. Sean Floyd is also facing 12 felony charges of human trafficking. Investigators say Floyd made children share a motel room with 3 adults and pay for their meals and water during a trip to sell candy. He has pleaded not guilty to the human trafficking charges, and last week the Kentucky Labor Cabinet filed a lawsuit saying he has not paid $45,000 in fines. The fines came from regulators for alleged labor violations involving the children.
A man was arrested in Pike County Friday after being accused of distributing child pornography. Oscar Calhoun of Jonestown, Pennsylvania, was arrested by the U.S. Marshals Service. Court records show he is accused of sending the child pornography to 2 other men. This, combined with a previous conviction for child porn and sex abuse in Illinois, means he could now face up to 40 years in prison. He is currently being held in the Pike County Detention Center.
And Louisville Metro Police were in for a surprise when responding to a call about a person with a gun on Saturday. When they arrived to the scene, they say they found a man threatening them with a sword instead. Someone called about the man with a gun, but he locked police out of the home, forcing them to break the door down. When they got inside, 35-year-old Matthew Hall barricaded himself in an attic and pulled a sword on officers trying to arrest him. Hall was eventually arrested and charged with resisting arrest and one endangerment. Thousands of dollars have been raised from people and businesses in Sullivan County, Tennessee, and in and around the tri-state for the safe return of Evelyn Boswell. People all around the community are feeling the heartbreak of not knowing where she could be.
Abby Kasoris talked with some people from Sullivan County who say they feel a close connection to Evelyn Boswell.
And I still go home at night and cry. I try to hold it together here at work and make the best out of it, but everybody's talking about it. She's an innocent baby. She didn't ask to be brought into this world, but she's here.
Roxy Watkins and her coworker Teresa Jones says they feel a close connection to Evelyn Boswell.
Definitely hanging on everybody.
They've been reading up on every search and watching law enforcement do their jobs.
They're working round the clock, and they have to be tired.
They first brought the men and women at the sheriff's office donuts, then pizzas. They say officers broke down crying.
And then when they tear up, it makes you tear up, and it's really, I know it's weighing hard on them too, not being able to do more.
The two posted on social media saying they'd collect donations for food items or money for lunches at their business, Tangle's Hair Studio. They're already receiving phone calls from people pledging money.
I feel like God's laying this kind of stuff on our heart, so we're going to continue to do it until things are closed.
They say they'll continue to support those looking for Evelyn.
I will pray that they find that baby, like I have every night, for them to find the answers to what they need to solve the case.
In Sullivan County, Abby Kasoris, WVLT News.
Now, friends, family, and community members of Lexington said their final goodbyes to anti-violence advocate Anita Franklin. Franklin became an activist after her son, Antonio, was killed by a stray bullet. Last week, hundreds of people packed the pews of a church to celebrate her life. Governor Andy Beshear, former Lexington Mayor Jim Gray, and current Mayor Linda Gorton spoke in honor of Franklin.
An individual who personified grace, who gave strength to others. And while Anita's life was too short, if you look around, you can see how special it truly was.
Between tears and laughter, people retold stories and shared wisdom Franklin imparted on them. She leaves behind a legacy of kindly leading others and leaving the world a better place than which she found it. A fourth grader in Virginia is on a mission, changing the future one crayon box at a time.
And Nancy Chen reports from Leesburg, Virginia.
At Evergreen Mill Elementary School in Leesburg, Virginia, 9-year-old Bellin Woodard and her fourth grade classmates are getting a lesson in history.
So we have the French and Indian War.
Bellin is now taking her coloring projects to a new level. It all started last year when she came home with some tough questions for her mom.
Do you know what people are referring to when they ask for the skin color crayon? And she said, no, what is it? And I said, it's the peach crayon.
Her mom, Tasha Woodard, says it was hard to hear, especially because it wasn't the first time. Bellin was the only African-American girl in her grade.
So I said, well, no, I don't know what you're talking, I don't know what they're asking for, but I presumed what they were asking for because that's been all of our experience.
Tasha told her to hand over the color brown next time, but Bellin had a better idea.
I'm going to ask them which color they want, because it could be a number of any colors. And so that's when the More Than Peach started.
She started with her classmates, giving out packets with Crayola multicultural crayons or colored pencils.
Bellin didn't stop there. She's working to get multicultural crayons or colored pencils into every elementary or middle school classroom in the district.
To fund the project, Bellin has used some of her earnings from modeling. She's also received donations from people across the country with similar experiences.
It seems like this is so much more than just about coloring.
Yes. So it's more about making sure kids know that they're included and there's also not just one skin color.
Young artists creating a more colorful world, one drawing at a time. Nancy Chin, CBS News, Leesburg, Virginia.
Bellen's idea has taken off. The mayor of her town has granted her a proclamation, and a Virginia History Museum is interested in getting one of her kits. And later on in Mountain News this morning, Hillary Duff says she wants to participate in a reboot of Lizzie McGuire, just not on Disney Plus. We'll tell you why.
Rain chances will start out the first couple of days of the first full week of March, but temperatures stay mild for a few days. I'll have the latest forecast in about 3 minutes.